Stranger Things 5. Volume 1 is full of visual Easter eggs, but some of the most important clues are not in the picture at all. They are hiding in the audio and in the subtitles. If you watched Volume 1 once and felt like something was off, or like a scene was trying to tell you more than you could see, you are not imagining it. The Stranger Things team is using sound design as a second layer of storytelling. And if you are not listening for it, you are missing part of Stranger Things 5. In this video, you missed the clue, hiding. In Volume 1 audio, we are going to talk about 3 things: the hidden sounds inside the Upside Down and Vecna scenes, the subtitle-only moments that give away extra information, and the simple settings that will help you hear Stranger Things Season 5 the way it was mixed. Let us start with the Upside Down and Vecna audio. Every time Stranger Things 5 goes into Vecna territory, the soundscape changes long before the visuals do. You will hear low rumbles, a faint ticking, distant metallic groans, and little reversed echoes of voices.
Do it.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I got it!
Slow down! Jesus Christ! Jesus! Oh my god!
It did it!
It almost feels like the show is breathing around the characters. In Volume 1, the ticking clock is obvious in some scenes and almost invisible in others. Sometimes it is loud right before a vision starts. Other times, it is buried so deep under the music that you only notice it if you wear headphones. That is on purpose. The ticking is not just a horror sound, it is a signal, a way for the show to mark Vecna's presence even when he is not on screen.
4 times. Max.
In some Volume 1 scenes, the clock starts ticking before the characters feel anything. If you catch it, you know something is coming. If you miss it, the scare feels more sudden. There are also scenes in Stranger Things 5 Volume 1 where background voices are distorted, reversed, or pushed to the edge of hearing. In some upside-down shots, you can almost make out familiar words inside the noise. Screams from earlier seasons, snatches of dialogue, a name said too quietly to show up in the main mix. This is where subtitles come in. Netflix subtitles and closed captions for Stranger Things 5 are not just accessibility tools. They sometimes label sounds in a way that spoils what is going on. If you have subtitles off, you just hear a weird sound and move on. If you have them on, you might see things like clock ticks faster, whispered voice says, "Join us." Distant creature screeches in the dark. In a few key Volume 1 scenes, the captions tell you who is speaking, even when the character is off-screen or heavily distorted. They might label a line as Vecna, or as Will, or as an unknown voice. Often this happens long before the plot confirms anything. Sometimes the text at the bottom of the screen is the only place where the show admits that a certain sound is the Mind Flayer, or that a certain echo is Will Byers, not Vecna. That is huge if you are trying to understand the real rules of Stranger Things Season 5. So how do you actually catch this stuff without replaying every scene 10 times? First, watch at least one episode of Stranger Things 5 Volume 1 with good headphones or a decent soundbar. Laptop speakers and tiny TV speakers often crush all the detail into a flat wall of noise. You do not need studio gear. You just need something that does not turn the Upside Down into a single rumble. Second, turn on English closed captions for at least one rewatch. Do not use auto-translated subs. Use the official English CC track. That is the one that includes labels for sound effects, not just spoken words. Then, pay attention to 3 types of captions. Number 1, captions that describe the quality of a sound. If it says distorted clock ticking or echoing heartbeat, that usually means someone or something is manipulating reality. Number 2, captions that tell you who is speaking when the voice is off screen. If it labels a whisper as Vecna, that supports the idea that he is active in scenes where the camera never shows him. If it labels a background line as Will, that is a clue about his connection to the hive mind. Number 3. Captions that describe background noise inside the Upside Down. If you start seeing things like creature circling overhead or distant roar gets closer, you know the show is hinting at entities we have not fully seen yet. The last piece of this puzzle is your audio settings. Just like we had to fix motion smoothing for the picture, we need to make sure your sound is not working against Stranger Things Season 5. If your TV or streaming box has an option called speech enhancement, clear voice, or night mode, try turning it on for Stranger Things 5. These modes often boost dialogue and small sounds, so they are easier to hear at lower volumes. If you are using a soundbar, look for a movie or cinema mode, rather than sports or music. Movie modes are tuned for sound effects and surround details. That is exactly what you want when you are trying to hear a faint clock tick hiding behind the score. The goal is simple. You want dialogue, subtle effects, and music to be clear without having to crank the volume so loud that the Demogorgon attack wakes up your neighbors. Once you do this, Stranger Things 5. Volume 1 feels different. The world sounds alive. Scenes that felt flat suddenly have layers. The show starts giving you tiny hints about Vecna, Will, the Mind Flayer, and the Upside Down long before the plot spells anything out. Now that you know you missed clues hiding in the Volume 1 audio, there is one more upgrade that will change how you watch Stranger Things 5. You already fixed your TV picture. You have tuned your sound and your subtitles. The next step is understanding why the story itself is built like a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, and what that means for Eleven versus Vecna. If you want to see why Eleven still cannot beat Vecna in Volume 2, and how the party is underleveled on purpose, watch my next video on the level 20 problem in Stranger Things 5.